Hello and welcome to the Keep On Side Show. My name's Joel.
And my name's Eugene.
Today we're going to be speaking about a topic which has made a few headlines recently. Does John Terry deserve a new contract at Chelsea? We're also going to be giving you our take on what league we think will be the best league in the world. I don't necessarily feel that Chelsea need to offer him a new playing deal at the end of the season, because the facts remain that he is a 36-year-old coming to the end of his career. Chelsea are, I know they're having a bad time at the moment, but they are a team who, for me, will be looking to compete for honours next year. I'm not sure there's many 36-year-olds at the centre of any defence, let alone a team that's competing at the high end of the Premier League.
He's Mr. Chelsea, isn't he?
He is Mr. Chelsea.
He's been at the club for a long, long time, isn't he? From he was 14, he was at Chelsea.
He's been at the club a long, long time. I believe, he is Mr. Chelsea, and it'll be good for someone like him coming up through the ranks to, remain at the club. He's put in the public eye that, he's been this captain, fantastic. He's been a pillar of their recent success. His achievements in the game are just...
He has been a bit naughty though, isn't it?
Beyond belief.
When you think of it, I think 2001, 2002, I think he was arrested by the police for abusing American fans on September the 11th.
Yeah.
And then I think a couple of years later, he was involved with a bouncer in West London. He assaulted a bouncer. And I think 2012, 2013, he racially abused Anton Ferdinand and was banned for 4 games, and I'm sure you can chuck in a few more bits and pieces.
I got a bit too friendly and familiar with Wayne Bridges' missus as well, and people forget about that. So that's, everyone knows what John Terry is about. I mean, whether you like it or not, the things you do off the field are going to stand before you on it. And I think with John Terry, sometimes we forget that. Sometimes in the media and pundits are they will say, oh yeah, John Terry is a leader. But I'll give the example of maybe a Luis Suarez, for instance. As great a player he is, he's associated with biting forever.
He's never going to get away from that.
He's never going to get away from that. So, John Terry, what are we going to associate him with?
I think Chelsea, they're almost like a new club. No disrespect to Chelsea fans, but there's not much history. The money man came in 10 years ago, spent a lot of money and put Chelsea on the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you keep someone like John Terry, who's come through the academy as a 14-year-old, worked his way up, captain the club, captain England, you keep him at the club, it's almost like you're telling the young players who want a career in football that here's a guy that's following the same path that you want to follow. These one club players, they almost deserve a role at the club. I don't believe they should be held to ransom. And
John Terry's been very cute.
He's been very cute.
Putting it out there in the media.
The club's not offered me nothing.
Definitely.
And he's almost hanging on the emotion of the fans because he knows, in the Chelsea fans' eyes, he's a bloody hero.
He's a hero.
Pardon my French.
You speak about the likes of Stevie G, being a one club man. He was close to leaving at one point.
He was very close.
Yeah, if there wasn't a few, influential underworld individuals.
So what you're saying, Stevie G stands for Stevie Gangster? Or?
Well, put it this way, there was a few underworld individuals that had, they were very prominent and just reminded Steven Gerrard of where his future should be. I'll be low.
That's another topic.
If someone's threatening to cock it back, I'll be very low.
You'll be totally low, wouldn't you?
Totally low.
So yeah, I hear that.
But my honest opinion is I don't see any reason why John Terry can't necessarily, play in the MLS, because he still wants to play. He doesn't want to retire. If he wanted to retire, then I believe, keep him at the club.
But don't you think, Joe, look what happened with Frank Lampard. Left Chelsea, said he was going to the MLS. Where did he end up? Clubs have got to be a bit careful here, because what will happen is if you don't offer John Terry a contract, he's more likely just to start flaunting himself to Man City, to all these big clubs, and he could end up playing for one of your big rivals. That's a few things to think about.
Another thing what you touched on though, Huge, in regards to him being at the club and young players looking at him as almost a template, I think that's right, but I think that's got to come from the top, because if the owner is still on, instant success, you could have John Terry as a youth coach all day long. You're still not going to get that transition.
But I think it's an absolute disgrace that clubs of Chelsea stature are not putting more into their academies. Young kids are dying to play for Chelsea. I think Chelsea need to actually tap into that and do more in the academies. and get players that have come through the academy to work within the academies, to let the youngsters know that they can come through this, because they spend. So you could be good little more as a youngster.
Yeah.
Come the end of the season, they're getting their wallets out to buy big players.
But that pressure comes from us as fans as well, because I'm pretty sure the Chelsea fans don't want to be waiting a whole heap of years to win and be a success. You know, you bringing through youngsters, that is going to take some time, and you're going to need patience.
I hear what
obviously.
you're saying, Joe, but you see, especially with what's happened this season with Leicester, there's a big difference in the money spent there, and Leicester at the moment are currently doing better than Man City. So I think after this season, I think a lot of money men and directors and coaches, they might be looking at football slightly different, and probably they might be saying, do you actually need to really throw money? Should we start looking at our academies more?
Yeah,
and that's what makes me sort of be so passionate about Chelsea, who's been one of the money teams, holding on to one of their academy products.
I believe they should go that way. Well, anyway, that's our view. Should John Terry get a new contract at Chelsea? At us at Keep On Sideshow, #KTG. For entertainment, you can't get bigger and better than the Premier League, in my opinion.
Well, if you're talking about entertainment, Joe, I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, the word best is quite a big word, and I've just chose to break it down a little bit. So, quality of the play, I would tend to say is still in European shores, the quality of play. I still think when you in Spain, in Germany, in Italy, I still think you see more team goals. I still think you see players passing it. Just for example, no disrespect, and I'm not hating. I love the Jamie Vardy goal. Great technique, one hit bang.
Did you really love it though?
Not really, but if that was in Spain, I just think you would have seen a passage of play through the middle, and maybe a bit of passing, and maybe a nutmeg from Suarez, and maybe someone looped the ball up and then they hit it. Not a hoof. I'm just not on the hoof thing.
I think it was a bit more than a hoof.
Am I hating because it was against Liverpool?
I think you're hating tremendously. I think it was a good ball. It was a good ball. I know what you're saying. The Premier League is more direct. Maybe Barcelona, you might say, yeah, they're not really going to do that. But, you know, Xabi Alonso is a man that made a long ball famous, and he's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player, and he was at Real Madrid, and I'm pretty sure that he was pinging it over the top for Ronaldo to go.
No. Obviously, I've given unpredictability to England.
Yeah.
But I'm just giving that quality of play to Europe.
Yeah, you're probably...
If I'm going to go on to the best players, for example, I still think the best players at the peak of their powers will choose Spain.
Your top echelons, your real top players, even going back, your Romarios, your Zidanes, your Maradonas, those players didn't come.
They never come, you know.
But you know what, though? I do think that is a lifestyle choice, not just footballing. A lot of these players are Latin players, North American players. They're going to be more drawn to the warm weather, the beaches, the diet and stuff like that. I love Sanchez to death. I'm Arsenal through and through. But if Sanchez was playing week in, week out for Barcelona, he'd still be in Barcelona. Do you see what I'm saying? If Aguero is playing week in, week out for Real Madrid, he's not thinking about cold, rainy Manchester.
The last thing in regards to the best league in the world was the atmosphere, and I think the atmosphere in the Premiership is second to none. Yeah. You got full grounds everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You got Crystal Palace fans, not the major big team, but their fans out-sing anyone.
Yeah.
You go to Crystal Palace, they haven't even got a major capacity, but you hear the vibes.
It's a wicked atmosphere. I've been down to Selhurst.
You understand what I'm saying, Joe? You only have to look what happened to Liverpool the other day, winning 2-0, 77th minute, the crowd start to walk out, and the game ends 2-2. Yeah. So that means, soon as the crowd went, Liverpool lost their asses. Excuse my French.
Yeah. If you're looking at tactics, for example, you'll probably say the Italian league is the best. You know, because the Premier League is a ferocious league. It's end to end. Sometimes tactics go out the window. You know, when a team's 2-0 down, you know, they're putting on forward after forward. It don't matter about tactics. They just want goals. They just want goals. You know what I mean? So you can't rest players in any Premier League game. No, you can't. You know, the top, Leicester could be flying. They can't rest Jamie Vardy if they're playing against Aston Villa. No. You know, they can't rest Mahrez if they're playing against Aston Villa. No. Whereas Barcelona, if they go into the bottom club, you know, if Messi's not up to it, he could just sit on the if he wanted to.
It's almost boring, Joe, in a respect that there's probably one time in the season where Barcelona might get beaten, and that's when they play Real Madrid.
Even Bayern Munich, the same thing with Bayern Munich.
One team. I mean, for me, with the Premiership, Swansea playing Liverpool, Liverpool can get brushed.
Yeah.
Leicester playing Man City, we don't know who's going to win.
Yep.
And I think that unpredictability, you can't beat the Prem.
You can't beat it.
I shut down the show now.
Yeah.
You can't really beat this thing, you know.
So the verdict is,
You can't beat the Prem.
you can't beat the Prem. But you know,
But fans may feel to differ. We'd like to hear from anyone from Germany.
Yep.
We'd like to hear from anyone in Italy.
Yep.
We'd like to hear from anyone in France. If you've got any facts to back up your argument that your league runs it, then contact us at the Keep On Side Show, #KTG. Speaking of La Liga, we've asked Cadell to do the Neymar touch. You see how Cadell got on?
wow, so Cadell's done it again. He's got Techers on toast.
Wow.
So if there is any skills that you want to send into the Keep On Side Show, please don't hesitate. Tweet us at Keep On Side Show, #KTG. So that's all we got time for.
And last but not least, we would like to wish all of our fans a happy Pancakes Day. And the link between Pancakes Day and football was back in the day, when Pancakes Day came along, people just used to run on the streets and play football with no referees. So don't kill yourselves.